Very good morning, students. Welcome to prestigious IIT NEET Foundation program or Focus C program by Krishnaveni Talent Schools and the Mastermind Schools. So I welcome all the class 9 students of KTS Kishanbagh, Dholapalli branch, Ramnagar High School so far for today's session. As you all can see on the screen, and you are well aware, my subject is physics. We are in class 9th. Our ongoing second chapter, vectors, and we are entering into the session number 3. So far, we completed 2 classes in understanding the basic classification of vectors and scalars. So how physical quantities are classified into vectors or scalars, right? So we'll continue where we stop in the last class. But before that, let us review. Let us recall what we learned in the earlier classes about the vectors, which is a part of mathematics also. It's a mathematical physics, right? So welcome Oak Ridge International School, Mitchell. So as we move forward, so where we started is the classification of vectors. So as you all know that the physical quantities like mass, time, length, velocity, area, density, whatever it may be, they are classified based on magnitude and direction. All the physical quantities which have only magnitude are placed under scalars, like mass, length, time, etc. The physical quantities which have both magnitude and direction, they are placed under vectors, like velocity, acceleration, density, and all. Right? Means all the physical quantities, they may be of fundamental physical quantities or derived, no matter. They are classified into scalar quantities and vector quantities based on their, what is the parameter? Magnitude and direction. This is a parameter, magnitude and direction. Only magnitude, scalars. Both magnitude and vectors, magnitude and direction, vectors. So based on that, I explained you about the difference between the scalar and vector in the table form, right? So a scalar is a quantity which has only magnitude but no direction. Vector is a quantity which has both direction and magnitude. Scalars are, we can learn in the normal algebra, but whereas vectors, separate branch of mathematics is there called vector algebra. Okay. Then you can see scalar quantities change in terms of magnitude only. Whenever magnitude changes, scalar quantity changes. No other way it can change. Whereas vector can change when the magnitude changes, or direction changes, or both changes. So when you do the mathematical operation with scalars, the resultant is always scalar only. Either adding the scalars, subtracting the scalars, multiplying the scalars, or dividing the scalar. All the 4 mathematical operations between the scalar quantities, the result is always scalar. But in case of vectors, when you are undergoing the operations with the vector quantities, the resultant may be scalar or vector. Sometimes scalars also will come. Like example, I told work. Work is equal to force into displacement. Force is a vector quantity. Displacement is also a vector quantity. But work is a scalar quantity. Okay. So this is about the scalars and vectors, what we discussed in the earlier class. So when you move forward, there is a type of vectors. There are so many types of vectors are there where you come across. Only if you are here, more I'll show you. Right? Types of vectors. So there are so many types are there. You can see on the screen. So based on the directions, based on the magnitudes, they are classified. First one is zero vector. A vector with zero magnitude. Right? Means it is having the direction, but magnitude is 0. Unit vector. Vector whose magnitude is 1. If magnitude is 0, it is a 0 vector. If magnitude is 1, it is unit vector. Co-initial vector. I should come here. Co-initial. Two or more vectors with same initial point. Means suppose say this is the initial point A. From here, one vector is going here, other is going here. Because you know the direction is there for the vectors. So what is this? Initial point is same for all. They are starting from same point. So for example, if you go to railway station, from same station, so many trains will go. Some will go to Delhi, some will go to Goa, some will go to Vizag. So the all starting point is same, but they are going to different directions, different destinations. Similarly, we can find the vectors also, which are starting from same position and moving in the different directions, are called co-initial vector. C-O-I-N, I should come there, co-initial. Right. Then the fourth one is collinear. Collinear. Two or more vectors lying on the same parallel lines. Same parallel lines. For example, one is like this. I will show the diagrams also. So they are starting from same point, same way, and they are moving same way but parallel to each other. They are called collinear. Equal vectors. Two or more vectors, same magnitude and direction. Whether it may be velocity or force or density, whatever the vector it is, if they have same magnitude, that is same numbers, 30, 40, 50, whatever it may be, and same direction they are moving, then they are called equal vectors. And negative vector, so name itself, if case negative very possibility is there when they come in the opposite direction. So vectors with same magnitude but opposite direction, as known as negative vectors. See how interesting. See, many more are there. First, write down this. You take this in table form, all the 6 types of vectors and definitions. Write down first. Students, make it fast. You are 9th class students, you can write very fast. Write neatly. So write down all the 6 types of vectors and further little more explanation with diagrams are given in our materials. We'll see that. Zero vector, unit vector, co-initial vector, co-linear vector, equal vectors, negative vectors. Done, all of you? Hope you get some idea about the vectors. In details, you can learn in mathematics how to add them, how to subtract them. That is addition of vectors, subtraction of vectors, multiplication. Again, there are two types are there, right? And of course, division you will get in higher classes. Right? Okay. So I'm moving forward for the next little more explanation about with the diagrams. You can see. No need to write this. This all is there from your material. Just try to understand the types of vectors here. Just you can write side headings if you want. See, apart from those 6, maybe they also included here, but apart from that, you can see types of vectors. Number 1, like or parallel vectors. Vectors with same magnitude. So, same magnitude, they can call them as a like vectors. They have same magnitude, same number. Magnitude is nothing but number. Okay. Second one, unlike vectors are anti-parallel vectors. So they shows a negative sign here, opposite. Mutually opposite vectors. Okay. Co-initial, already we have said, I told already. Starting from same point, they are moving in a different directions. But starting point is same for all. Right? When starting point is same, it is called co-initial vector. Fourth one, you can see very interesting again. You can add there this one. Co-terminal vector. They are coming from somewhere and they are meeting at one point. See. They are coming from somewhere. For example, a train is coming from Mumbai. Right. One more train is coming from Chennai. One is coming from Vizag. All are coming where? They are all coming to Hyderabad. Means starting from different stations, reaching to same terminal. Starting from same terminal, reaching to different stations is called co-initial. Starting from different places and reaching to same terminal is called co-terminal vectors. Co-terminal, same terminal. See, flights also, even flight also same. From Hyderabad, there are so many flights will go to the so many states or so many countries. Same time, so many flights are coming from different countries and different states to Hyderabad. As there is a mention the direction in every case, they are nothing but vectors only. You can compare easily. Starting from same point, moving in different directions is called co-initial vector. Starting from different places, coming to same terminal is called co-terminal vectors. You can note this, very important anyway. Right? You can note this also as it is with the diagram. All of you. Very much helpful for you. These 4 you can note down. Many more are there. Like vector, which is also called parallel vector. Unlike, because direction is different, we can call it as unlike. Co-initial vector already written, but diagram is you can note down. Right? Draw the diagram. Co-terminal vector. See arrow. That arrow indicates the direction. The tail is nothing but magnitude. With the same direction they are moving, they are called like vectors. Magnitude may be different. See here, magnitude for first case is 2b. Second arrow is only b only. B, 2b are called magnitude. Whereas the direction you can see both moving in same direction. So they call like vectors. In second case, the magnitudes are different, directions also different, opposite. So it is unlike or anti-parallel. and third and fourth you are clear. After the class, you can go through your material also. Little deeper depth is there just to understand. This you can help in the when you go to the 11th standard also, as well as in mathematics also. When to add the vectors, when to subtract the vectors. All these things you can understand. So good to see. Oakley International School, Medchal, Jogipet KTS, Padmaraju Garu, I don't know which school you are, Gurapalli branch, KTS Kishan Bagh, Wani Block, Ramnagar High School, Masterminds Hayat Nagar, ECL Masterminds, Varasiguda branch, Alwal KTS. So be regular to the classes so that you can understand the continuation of the content. Because already we have a lot of holidays in between. So maybe the second test 2 also date is approaching. That should be on 26th because the day is holiday. You can conduct after that. By the time we get the test 1 results and question papers of test 2 also. Whatever syllabus we covered here till the date, the questions will appear. Right. Completed 4. Right. I'll move to the next. Next types are there. See, more. Negative vector. Already I told. Vector whose magnitude are equal. Magnitudes are equal here. See. Magnitude what? Magnitude is nothing but the length. This is called magnitude. This is the direction. Arrow is the direction. Tail is the magnitude. If their magnitudes are same, but they are in opposite direction. If magnitude are different, their opposite direction is nothing but unlike vectors. Anti-parallel. But here what happened? Their magnitudes are same. A only. But the sign difference is sign. Because they are in opposite direction. Such vectors are called negative vectors. Connect the direction, diagram. Next, equal vectors. Same magnitude, same direction. Magnitude for both is A on ABC. The magnitude is same, the length is same, and they are moving in same direction. When magnitude is same and direction also same, they are called equal vectors. Coplanar vectors. This is a plane. If consider this as some plane, all the vectors lying on same plane, they are called coplanar. Coplanar means and co means same plane. Collinear vectors. See, one after the other, one end to end. Here one vector is ended, other vector started, and another vector started. This is, they are lying on same line. Collinear. Linear means straight line. If number of vectors lying on same line, they are called collinear vectors. Very interesting, you can see. Right? Collinear. Ninth one. Unit vector, already we told, having the magnitude of 1. A vector having unit magnitude, unit is 1, is called unit vector. The formula is also there for unit vector. You can see here, very useful. You can find out when you are doing the problems, you can use this. Right? A is equal to mod A into small a, or small a is equal to this one. This is for acceleration vector. Okay, whose magnitude is 1. If magnitude comes as a 1 unit, it comes as a unit vector. Then 0 vector, 10th one. A vector of 0 magnitude, no magnitude, is called 0 vector or a null vector. It is also called null vector. And number 11, you can see here, proper vector. Right, proper. Vector whose magnitude is not equal to 0. All called proper vectors only. If it is equal to 0, they are called 0 vectors or null vector. If it is not 0, it may be positive or negative. If it is not 0, they are called proper vectors. So 11 types here. Okay, make it fast. You write down. After that, we move to the next one. All you write down with the diagrams. Complete all of you? So total there are 11 types of vectors and many more are there. As you move forward to higher classes, you can learn more and more. Okay. So try to understand each and every type of vector. I gave in tabular form, and later there is a complete explanation also there, which is from your material. The simple way they explained with simple words. So if you understand this, you can move to your vector algebra part in mathematics. And you can start doing all 4 types of operations possible with the vectors. Vector addition, vector subtraction, vector multiplication, and vector division. By using that, any physical quantity value you can find out, which is having a specific direction. Right? So this is totally about the complete vectors classification. And once you go through, when you see our material, what else is there in the material, you can see. So this is totally about where we started. Vector types of vectors here, right? So initially we started from here. What introduction part we discussed about what is vector quantity, so how vector quantities represents, then various types of vectors you can see here on screen. That is for material. Okay. So this is a collinear, unit vector, zero vector, proper vector, and 2 more are there. You can note, right? 2 more vectors are there apart from those 11. You can see here. Position vector, right? Position vector and non-polar vector. You note this also, 11th one. What is position vector? Position vector is nothing but a vector which originates at the origin and terminates at the point in the coordinate system. Means there is a starting is there, ending is there, where it starts from one point and ends at other point. Then that is called position vector. Non-planar vector, vector acting in different planes. One plane we have seen, coplanar. So many vectors in one plane. But the vectors are acting in different planes, we can come across, we can call them as non-planar vector. So you can write at a point, this is point in the coordinate system. Coordinate system means maybe x-axis, y-axis, z-axis will be there. We'll come across in coordinate geometry. So note on these two also. Position vector and non-planar vector. So I'll show you one video for you, which is a funny video, which explains you, which tells you that physics is everywhere. Physics is not in the textbooks. Physics is everywhere in our regular life. Whatever the situation, whether you are cooking or whether you are washing, whether you are bathing or whether you are running, whether you are walking, whether you are dancing, everywhere we can identify the physics. Such wonderful one. Just small video I'll show you after writing this. Some of you might have seen it. It is very famous nowadays in the reads. Okay? Means we can, if you really concentrate, you can find physics everywhere. When you are traveling, when you are riding the bike, driving the car, traveling by train, bus, flight, or eating, or cooking, everywhere you can find the application of the Right? Done, I think. So next, after this, we'll come across, I already told one word, resolution. As the vectors are having the various direction, they can be resolved into components. They can be resolved into vertical component, horizontal component. This is very much helpful in the solving some theorems in mathematics. Right? Then what is displacement vector? Okay. So this totally comes under the one synopsis part. Till now, what we have done is up to one synopsis part. When you go to second synopsis, we get the addition of vectors and subtraction of vectors, which we'll discuss in the next class. How to add the vectors, how to subtract the vectors. In that, we come across triangle law, polygon law, and even parallelogram law. The three laws are there to know about the addition and subtraction of vectors. Okay. So this physics part will covered here. Mathematical part you can learn in the mathematics. So there are some examples also given. When A is given, B is given, C vectors is given, how to find A plus B plus C mod. So mod, first you can find A plus B plus C, then you can go for the modular. That you can see in a solved examples. There are some solved examples also given, around 6 examples before complete entering into the worksheet. So tomorrow we'll complete all this part about addition vector, subtraction vector, and triangle law, parallelogram law of the vector in a simple way, because we don't need explanation here. We need to understand the concept. Okay. This parallelogram law is very important, from which you get two equations. How to get the resultant of the vectors and how to get the angle between the vectors. Everything you can find out. Okay. So I'll show the explanation in the next class. But before that, I told you one video I'll show for you. And finally, then we'll recall the see the dance, observe carefully.
ఫిజిక్స్ క్లాసెస్ చెప్పకుండా ఇప్పుడు వీడికి సాంగ్స్ అవసరమా అనుకుంటున్నారా? అక్కడ కూడా ఫిజిక్స్ ఉంది. అందరూ తోబా తోబా సాంగ్ లో లెగ్ మూవ్మెంట్ మీద ఎక్కువ కాన్సన్ట్రేట్ చేస్తున్నారు, కానీ హ్యాండ్ మూవ్మెంట్ అబ్జర్వ్ చేశారా? ఫ్లెమింగ్స్ రూల్ ఉందమ్మా. ఆ హీరో ఇంకొంచెం పర్ఫెక్ట్ గా చెయ్యాలి, బట్ బీయింగ్ ఫిజిక్స్ టీచర్ నా అబ్జర్వేషన్ అయితే అతని హ్యాండ్ మూవ్మెంట్ మీదకి వెళ్ళింది. సో అక్కడ ఫ్లెమింగ్స్ రూల్ ఎక్స్ప్లెనేషన్ జరుగుతోంది. సో 3 ఫింగర్స్ ఒకదానికొకటి పర్పెండిక్యులర్ గా పెట్టినప్పుడు ఒకటి మ్యాగ్నెటిక్ ఫీల్డ్ ని రిప్రజెంట్ చేస్తుంది, ఒకటి ఫోర్స్ ని రిప్రజెంట్ చేస్తుంది, అండ్ ఇంకొక ఫింగర్ కరెంట్ ని రిప్రజెంట్ చేస్తుంది. సో ఇక్కడ ఫ్లెమింగ్స్ రూల్ ఉంది. సో ఎక్కడ పడితే అక్కడ ఫిజిక్స్ ఉందన్నమాట. మీలో ఎంతమంది కనిపించింది ఫ్లెమింగ్స్ రూల్? డూ లెట్ మీ నో ఇన్ ద కామెంట్.
So just once again you see.
తోబా 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 తోబా. ఫిజిక్స్ క్లాసెస్ చెప్పకుండా ఇప్పుడు వీడికి సాంగ్స్ అవసరమా అనుకుంటున్నారా? అక్కడ కూడా ఫిజిక్స్ ఉంది. అందరూ తోబా తోబా సాంగ్ లో లెగ్ మూవ్మెంట్ మీద ఎక్కువ కాన్సన్ట్రేట్ చేస్తున్నారు, కానీ హ్యాండ్ మూవ్మెంట్ అబ్జర్వ్ చేశారా? ఫ్లెమింగ్స్ రూల్ ఉందమ్మా. ఆ హీరో ఇంకొంచెం పర్ఫెక్ట్ గా చెయ్యాలి, బట్ బీయింగ్ ఫిజిక్స్ టీచర్ నా అబ్జర్వేషన్ అయితే అతని హ్యాండ్ మూవ్మెంట్ మీదకి వెళ్ళింది. సో అక్కడ ఫ్లెమింగ్స్ రూల్ ఎక్స్ప్లెనేషన్ జరుగుతోంది. సో 3 ఫింగర్స్ ఒకదానికొకటి పర్పెండిక్యులర్ గా పెట్టినప్పుడు ఒకటి మ్యాగ్నెటిక్ ఫీల్డ్ ని రిప్రజెంట్ చేస్తుంది, ఒకటి ఫోర్స్ ని రిప్రజెంట్ చేస్తుంది, అండ్ ఇంకొక ఫింగర్ కరెంట్ ని రిప్రజెంట్ చేస్తుంది. సో ఇక్కడ ఫ్లెమింగ్స్ రూల్ ఉంది. సో ఎక్కడ పడితే అక్కడ ఫిజిక్స్ ఉందన్నమాట. మీలో ఎంతమంది కనిపించింది ఫ్లెమింగ్స్ రూల్? డూ లెట్ మీ నో ఇన్ ద కామెంట్.
Right. So means what I mean to show you is, everywhere, if you observe carefully, everywhere there is a physics is there. Right? Everywhere, from day morning when you are wake up from the bed to till you go to the bed back again. Every point you can identify the physics, either one or other chapter. It may be study about motion, or it may be about the heat, it may be about the electricity, it may be about the light, or it may be various principles. Just now in video you have seen, it's a Fleming's rule. Fleming's rule explains you about how the current magnetic field produced. We come across in 10th class. See, means you have to treat physics as a daily application instead of subject. If you think like a subject, you have some fear. But if you think like a practical application, you can enjoy the subject. Right? So far we are almost done with the synopsis 1 part, where we discussed about the, when you recall again, once again, before closing the session, we started with the how the physical quantities are classified into scalars and vectors. All the physical quantities which are we discussed in the last chapter, and we classified them as fundamental physical quantities and derived physical quantities based on whether they are independent or dependent. Right. Later, same physical quantities can be classified into scalars and vectors based on their magnitude and direction. The same physical quantities are same only, which we are able to measure. But based on whether they have magnitude or whether they have both magnitude and direction, they are classified into scalar quantities and vector quantities. Where we have seen on screen clearly that what is the difference between the vectors and scalars. Then we entered in the specialization. That is, we are chapter name is vectors. We are extended part about the vectors. That is, what are the different types of vectors? We can see zero vector, unit vector, co-initial vector, co-linear vector, equal vector, negative vector. Okay. So, and after this, again, further some more we have seen, like vectors, which is also called parallel vectors. Their magnitudes are different, but direction is same. And their magnitudes are different, directions are different. They are called unparallel, anti-parallel, or unlike. Co-initial already we have seen. Co-terminal, very interesting. Okay. Then negative vector, directions are different. Magnitude may be same, but direction is different, opposite direction. So definitely negative. Equal vectors, co-planar vectors, co-linear vectors along same line. Straight unit vector, you can find out the magnitude also by using the formula. Then zero vector and proper vector. Zero vector is magnitude is 0. If it is not 0, they comes under proper vector. Right? These are totally 11 types of vectors, and many more are there. As per your requirement, you can learn when you go to the higher classes. Then these vectors can be resolved into components because they have various directions. They can resolve into either vertical component or horizontal component. Then later we know about the addition of vectors, subtraction of vectors, which are explained by various laws. Various laws are there where you can understand how to add the vectors, where to subtract the vector. Okay, either it will be triangle law, parallelogram law. Okay, so that's all for today. You can see on the screen today's daily practice problems, or it may be the homework. Mention types of vectors. If you already written in the notebook, make it clear, make it underline with some colors and all, and do the decoration. If not, you can again write all the 11 types of vectors in your notebook and take the signature from your parents and teacher, subject teacher. I request the teachers, please keep checking the notebooks regularly. Right, students? So thank you very much, all of you. Have a wonderful day. Thank you.